Celebrating Sushi Day, presented by Sapporo and powered by Taiku Sake. We are here with Jimmy, who is the owner of Fuji Ad Assembly, and Ming, who is the executive chef. Hello.
How are you, Julie?
I'm very good. And Ming, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You are the artist.
Thank you.
The creator. Jimmy, you've been here before. It is lovely to see you again. Tell me what's happening
Great to see you.
at Fuji Ad Assembly.
Fuji Ad Assembly right now, we've been open for about a year now. It's been really busy over there, and there's a lot of movement, new buildings opening up, and we're just gearing up for even more clientele over there.
It's a lovely area, Assembly Row, and it is booming.
It is. It absolutely is.
Always busy and always nice. Let's talk a little bit about Fuji Ad Assembly. It is. Explain to me about your sushi. It's sort of a mixture of old and new.
Well, our sushi, our techniques are very, very traditional, but a lot of our foods. We utilize a lot of modern techniques for presentation, and Ming's very good at that. Ming is very creative. He's an artist in his own right, and he communicates through his plating.
The way he was just putting the boat together,
mm-hmm.
It really is like watching a painter painting on a canvas.
It's quite amazing to me, and I'll be very honest with you, Julie. Even though Ming's been my student since he was 16 years old, his presentation has absolutely surpassed mine by far.
Ming, what do you think about that?
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
So, Ming, tell me, when you're making the sushi and you're creating rolls and you're doing it, does anything go through your head in particular?
So usually first thing I think about is what I like. And every time when I create something or when I doing something, how I look at it is every time when I do it is giving people a present. Is every time is Christmas time, you give them the best that you have.
Now, each roll that you brought here today, and we'll talk about some of them, each one done so carefully and so beautifully, and it's almost as if you're building. Is that what you do? You sort of start somewhere and then build?
That's right. So you always have the basics, you have to, know your basics. The maki is always, nice. And then you build on and whatever you want to put on and stuff like that.
And what is your favorite roll or your best creation, Ming?
At this point, the Ming's mango is the best seller we have right now. And
what is in that?
So on the inside is a fresh mango, fresh asparagus, shrimp, and topping with the spicy tuna.
Wow. Delicious.
And it's named after himself.
Yeah, well, of course. That's why it's such a big seller,
yes,
Jimmy.
Yes, it is.
Tell me a little bit what Fuji encompasses.
Fuji, we specialize in Japanese cuisine, mainly sushi, and that's my specialty. As we were talking about earlier, I mean, sushi, it's morphed so many times with so many different ways. Sushi, what it started out as and what it is today is completely two different things.
And what did it start out as?
It started out as basically just fermented fish and rice, and over time that morphed into maki sushi, and then it morphed into something called batero sushi, which is box sushi. And then in the early 19th century, a gentleman named Hanaya Yohei, he actually created the nigiri sushi, which is the small little pieces with the fish over the rice. And after he created that, sushi was actually being sold as fast casual food in individual sushi kiosk stalls, per se.
So you would just go up and sort of order, they'd put it in kind of a basket or something, and off you'd go?
Yep, and you just eat it right then and there, or off you go, and as you're walking, you nibble on it, you're gone, you're done. And that's that. And then in the 1950s, that's when sushi really, everything moved indoors in Japan. And we started seeing the first wave here back in the 1960s. And in Boston, and that was out in LA, but in Boston, it was in the 1970s when sushi first came here. And it was called Genji on Newbury Street.
And yes, good restaurant. And when did it really sort of take off? Was it 90s?
I would say in the late 80s, early 90s here in Boston. But I mean, sushi's been around in California since the 20s and 30s.
So, and all of a sudden, it's like one of those things where let's go out and get sushi, where now it's so readily available.
Oh yeah, it's very readily available, and today it's not even really about traditional sushi anymore. It's more about the techniques, more about the fish and the rice itself. A lot of people are doing sashimi, which is just the raw fish. And sushi has taken on so many different forms today versus what it used to be years ago. But that's just with any other food. Everything morphs over time.
And I think it's become an art.
It has. It definitely has become an art form, all the way down to the knives that we use. Because when the country of Japan, when they outlawed samurais, well, a lot of those samurai sword makers, they had to find something else to do to make a living. And so they started making sushi knives. And sushi chefs are actually looked upon as the modern-day samurais.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
don't get them angry.
Absolutely not.
I see that you added some gold to one of the rolls, and you had, what is the red topping again?
So you have a little bit of
Can you eat that?
yeah,
That
it's
gold?
edible gold. It's edible gold. You have a little bit of tobiko. You have a little bit of gold, and on the inside spicy tuna. On the outside is hamachi.
What's the easiest fish to work with?
The most popular one is tuna or salmon.
Is that the easiest to work with?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
But you still need to know how to cut it. Because with tuna, if you don't know how to cut it and you cut it wrong, it'll fall apart on you.
Right.
Yep.
And again, we go back to the artistry. And as you were saying, when Ming was creating the boat that he brought here for us, we were talking about you eat food with your eyes.
I mean, I think in today's world, eating is not even eating with just your mouth anymore. It's all about the aromas. So you're eating with your nose. You're eating visually with your eyes because of the presentation itself. It's such an amazing artistry that, eating is just not simply eating anymore.
It's not just about food.
No,
it's
not
the
anymore.
whole experience.
Yep.
Now you do these delicious sushi boats. You have 3 different sort of sizes at Fuji, but you can also get a la carte. You can
Yep.
get the bento boxes.
Absolutely.
Are those just for lunch?
Bento boxes are for lunch, but sometimes, but bento boxes, it's the way that you present the food. And Ming likes to present his food in almost a bento way sometimes, especially when he's doing omakase. But he takes that concept, and by the time he's done with it, it doesn't even look like a typical bento box anymore.
And what is a typical bento box? Like compartments of food?
Yes, it's compartments of food. You've got your rice, you've got your protein, you've got your salad, you've got a little bit of appetizer, and you got your soup on the side. So it's just basically like a lunch course.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But he's taken it to a whole new
He's
level.
taking it to the next level.
Which,
And-
of course he is.
And like I said, his creativity is it's absolutely amazing. He's even surpassed my creativity, and but thank God he still comes to me for a lot of advice in regards to the traditional aspects of sushi making.
And where did you learn traditional sushi making?
I started when I was 14, and I met my sensei actually out in Cambridge. I wish I had a more exotic story for you, but I don't. I started at 14 in Cambridge, and I eventually made my way out into Boylston Street. Ended up being head chef in Chinatown at 18, and started my first place at 19 in Quincy.
You're incredible, and I think I said this to you last time you were here.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you.
And you have more restaurants that you're opening down the line.
Yeah, we actually have.
You're a go-getter. Look at you go,
you gotta.
Jimmy.
You gotta. I mean, in life, one thing that I've learned is that, you just gotta get out there and work hard and see where your chips may fall.
Yeah, well, yours have fallen on some delicious sushi, some
Thank
great
you.
food,
Thank you,
a
Julie.
beautiful atmosphere at Fuji at Assembly.
Thank you.
I mean, the restaurant itself is gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really nice job. Jimmy, thank you so much for coming in. Ming,
Julie, thank you.
Julie,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you so
I
much.
love you. You are just like the most unbelievable artist when it comes to decorating
really
and doing your
appreciate
sushi.
Thank
We are
you.
celebrating Sushi Day. It's presented by Sapporo and powered by Taiku.